Hey, what's up, Internet? This is my last League Start progress video for Scourge League. We're 2 weeks in on the nose. Well, technically just over since it's about 1 in the morning here, almost 2. We hit level 100 today. In total, let me turn that on. I think I've got 33. I had 25 when I hit 100 today, and then we jumped into a bunch of dangerous content because, well, I've been playing it safe until 100, and so I felt like getting that off my chest. We jumped into a simulacrum, tried to get wave 30, didn't quite get that one done. I believe we hit like wave 28 of this or something like that. This is going to be a difficult one, I think, for this build to do at least consistently. It's probably doable, but I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to be able to do every time. And we also did a flawless breachstone. I did a Zoff breachstone, which went pretty well actually, considering I didn't even have my hatred or skitterbots active while I was doing the run-up. We still managed to clear it just fine, so I guess we've got plenty of DPS for that now. And we've obviously done the Blight Ravage map. I did that last week. I have to say I'm really happy with the build at this point. I've got about 20 to 25 million Shaper DPS, depending on how close enemies are to the totems and whether I have my flask up. It's chewed up pretty much all the content I've thrown at it. Our Atlas is pretty much entirely done here. I've got all of my points. You saw on the video a few days ago where I did the feared, releasing them all at once. Pretty much no problem. Shaper got me once, but he gets you every once in a while. As you can see, I actually I just got out of Cirrus. I actually recorded this video once while we were doing Cirrus, since this was going to be the last Cirrus we do as part of the core game, I guess. I mean, not for this league, but by next league, when we do the League Start progress, he's not going to be part of the Atlas anymore. And I realized I didn't have my microphone turned on. So I have this other neat video with a very impressive Cirrus kill where he dies in like a few seconds. And yeah, it's just silent. It's just silence and music. So I guess we'll do this Twisted Distant Memory since I want to start working on a new feared. And we'll change our Pantheon back here. We'll do our walk and talk in here, I guess. Hopefully it's not rolled some crazy... Well, I guess it has rolled some crazy stuff. Maybe we'll still be okay. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point if I die or not. As far as Scourge League itself, this feels... I think I said this last progress video, but it feels like an inverted Expedition League where the league mechanic is pretty whatever, I think, but the patch behind it is so nice that I don't really care. It reminds me a lot of Ritual League in that way. I didn't really care about Ritual League, but I liked the patch, and so I stuck around for quite a while. That's how it feels like here. I'm really happy with the state of the core game in this patch, but Scourge League, I don't know. They've never really been able to nail any kind of update that improved the Scourged items to where they were really that interesting, you know. I like my Iron Commander that has Culling Strike on it. That's really cool. But it's few and far between, I think, as far as items that you're going to be happy with. Whereas the vast majority of the time, you're just gonna brick your item to some kind of horrible downside. The Scourge maps, they definitely improved. More than enough, I would say, to make those fun, but they never really did anything. I'm trying to, you know, Scourge and Astromantis for the heck of it, but I don't know. This is probably how it's gonna look at tier 2 and 3 as well, you know. At least we can give you a pretty good example of where our single target DPS is at this point, because this guy's gonna explode. And he's gone. That's pretty much how most of our bosses go. Cirrus lives, you know, maybe a second longer than that anymore, but we do quite a bit of damage at this point, which I have to admit is kind of a nice change of pace. It feels like from Freezing Pulse. Even with Ice Spear, I feel like it doesn't ever get that satisfying. As far as a full guide for this build, I do plan on having one out probably early next week is what I would guess, at least for the text version on the forums, and then maybe another day or two whenever I find time to make a video for it. It's not going to be like, you know, just like with the very first version of the Freezing Pulse guide, there's going to be some work in progress stuff as I learn more about the build, right? I played Freezing Pulse for literal years, and the state, you know, of the refinement of that thread is due to all the things I learned along the way. So there's definitely some other options for this build that I know about, that I've looked at, and I haven't tested thoroughly. For example, just people ask me like about Wild Wrap. It seems like a very good item for this build. It's only a marginal DPS upgrade from where I'm at, but it is a pretty large evasion loss, which is in turn an armor loss for this build. If it was pushing me over a dex threshold, I might feel differently. It does have attack speed on it, which is very beneficial for this build and getting your ballistas to fire faster. There's certainly some tree differences we could do here. For example, a lot of people will not do a Thread of Hope, but they'll come up to a jewel socket up here so that they can do a large cluster and maybe at least 1 or 2 split personalities, for example. These things will take some time for me to test out myself and evaluate. And they'll go in the guide if I like them, and they won't if I don't. But the first version of the guide will be pretty comprehensive as far as going from League Start to this setup here in particular, or some very, very close iteration of it by the time I get the guide finished. I'm also going to, the reason why I'm going to do it at the start of the week is so I have some time over the next couple of days to do some leveling practice for a more comprehensive leveling guide. I wasn't satisfied with how leveling felt as Caustic Arrow, and I've already got some other ideas from other people who have leveled in different ways, and I'm going to try them out this weekend. It seems like it's going to be down to like Explosive Arrow Ballistas or Poisonous Concoction maybe, but either one of them I think will level better than the way that I leveled, which wasn't that bad, but it just wasn't as, you know, when you play Holy Flame Totem and it crushes the campaign and gets you to maps as easily as it does, I definitely want some better leveling guide than Caustic Arrow's struggle for the first like 3 or 4 acts, right? All told, I'm pretty happy with the state of the game right now. I'm very much looking forward to the expansion, because as long as the state of the core game is like this, being able to jump into a brand new atlas that doesn't have Cirrus on it, it sounds amazing. Hopefully there's an entirely new boss fight that, you know, the Maven I thought was a great fight. I still like that fight. So as long as it's on that level of quality, I'm all for it. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll probably still be playing quite a bit this league. Even though I'm level 100, I tend to enjoy leveling or farming at level 100 just because it's kind of freeing, right? Like, it doesn't really matter if I die anymore. I can throw myself at some pretty stupid content and see what we can beat. I definitely want to try and knock out as many of these challenges as I can. I'm only at 25, but I also don't really pay attention to these a lot of the time. So there's a bunch of them I have to knock out. I really think we'll be able to do all 4 of these. This one will take a few tries, I'm sure, but we'll get it done. And this one will be easy. I just don't know how much of a waste it's going to be. I don't know as I'll go for 40 out of 40 this league. It does seem pretty grindy. Especially on the endgame grinds one, just doesn't sound that appealing. But 36 out of 40 is probably doable, for my part anyway. We definitely have plenty of money. We're still trying to gamble up to a Headhunter. This is this is our 1 Headhunter card turned into 8 Headhunter cards through Harvest, like we did with the Mirror. We're at 3, so we're back on track. But we'll see where that goes. Anyway, I'm not going to make this video any longer. One thing I will say is I really appreciate the support I've gotten lately on the channel. We've gotten a bunch of new subscribers on the YouTube channel, a lot of new follows and subscribers on the Twitch channel, and I really appreciate it. I don't think I've actually said that before, but it really helps me stay motivated to try and, you know, write guides or make videos and just sort of stick with this game in general. So I really do appreciate that. Continue hitting the like button or the dislike button if you dislike my rambling, and make sure to subscribe and come check out the Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/WallachTV. I typically stream in the afternoons, Pacific time. And you'll probably catch me streaming quite a bit still for a while. Until I farm a Headhunter or lose all my Headhunter cards. I'd like to get a Mage Blood this league. I think that's still my main goal. I really want to get that Mage Blood and try it, just to say that I've tried it. But farming the currency for one looks pretty tough. It's like 300 exalts right now. So hopefully we'll drop one. Otherwise, I guess we'll just keep farming and see what happens. So until I get my guide done, I will see you guys later. Keep an eye out. It'll be next week. Peace.